Welcome back to Fluent Harbor. We are so happy to see you here again today. In this video, we will tell you how you can improve your English at home. So stay tuned. Let's get started. Mira had studied English for 6 years. She owned 4 textbooks. She had finished 2 full courses online. She could read a newspaper article and understand almost every word. But when she opened her mouth to speak, nothing came out the way she wanted. The words were there, somewhere, but they arrived too late, or in the wrong order, or not at all. She used to think this was normal. Everyone struggles with speaking, she told herself, but then she watched a video of a man who had studied English for only 18 months. He spoke slowly. Yes, but he spoke. He made mistakes. But people understood him easily. 18 months she had studied for 6 years. That night, Mira sat at her kitchen table and asked herself a question she had never really asked before. What am I actually doing wrong? She wasn't lazy. She reviewed grammar rules almost every week. She had a notebook full of vocabulary lists, but something was missing, and she didn't know what. So she decided to do something different. Instead of buying another course, she decided to experiment. For 1 month, she would try new habits, small ones, things she could do at home, alone, without a teacher. She didn't know yet which ones would work, but she was tired of studying English, like it was a subject to memorize, instead of a skill to build. That decision, small as it seemed, was the beginning of real change. The first thing Mira noticed was the content she used to study English. Most of it was either too easy, children's cartoons, simple exercises she had outgrown, or far too difficult, full of fast slang and idioms from native speaker podcasts that left her lost within a minute. She realized she had never studied at a level that actually challenged her without overwhelming her. So she looked for videos and shows that were just slightly above her comfort zone, understandable, but with a few new words in every few sentences. Not children's content, not native speed news, something in between. At first, this felt strange. She was used to either easy or hard, nothing in the middle. But after a week of watching graded content for 20 minutes a day, she noticed something. New words were sticking without her trying to memorize them. She understood expressions the second or third time she heard them, without translating. This is called comprehensible input, content difficult enough to teach you something new, but easy enough that you're not lost. Language researchers have studied this idea for decades, and the pattern is consistent. Understanding slightly challenging material repeatedly builds real intuition for a language far better than memorizing isolated rules. Mira didn't know the research. She only knew that for the first time in years, listening to English didn't feel like homework. It felt like she was actually absorbing something, but listening alone wasn't going to fix her speaking problem. She still froze when she tried to talk. So she knew the next habit had to be different. This one she would have to do out loud. The next habit felt embarrassing at first. Mira started speaking English out loud, alone in her apartment. She would describe her day out loud in English while making coffee. I woke up. I am tired. I need to answer 3 emails today. Simple sentences, said out loud again and again. She also tried something called shadowing, playing a short clip of natural English speech and repeating it right after, copying the rhythm and pronunciation as closely as she could. Not translating, not analyzing, just copying the sound, the way a child copies a song before understanding every word of it. It felt silly, talking to an empty kitchen. But something changed within days. The sentences that used to arrive too late in conversations started arriving faster because she had already said similar sentences out loud, many times alone. This matched something Mira later learned was well known among language teachers. Understanding a language and producing a language use different mental muscles. You can understand thousands of words and still freeze when you need to produce them under pressure. The only way to strengthen that second muscle is to actually use it, speaking even alone, even to no one. She also started keeping a short English journal, 3 or 4 sentences a night about her day. Not perfect grammar, just real attempts, real mistakes, real practice retrieving words from memory, instead of recognizing them on a page. Between speaking out loud and writing a little each night, Mira was doing something she had never done in 6 years of English classes, actually producing the language every single day, even when no one was listening or reading. There was one more piece missing. The vocabulary Mira learned kept disappearing. She would learn a new word from a video, feel proud of it, and then forget it completely within a week. Her old method was simple: write the word once in a notebook, then move on. It felt productive, but the words rarely stayed. So she tried a different system. Instead of writing a word once, she reviewed it again after 1 day, then after 3 days, then after a week, then after a month, spacing the reviews further apart each time. This method is often called spaced repetition, and it is one of the most consistently supported findings in memory research. Reviewing information right before you're about to forget, it builds much stronger long-term memory than reviewing it constantly all at once. She used simple paper flashcards at first, then a basic app. Either worked. What mattered was the spacing, not the tool. After 3 weeks of this, 20 minutes of understandable input daily, a few minutes of speaking or shadowing daily, a short journal entry each night, and short-spaced reviews of new words, Mira noticed something she hadn't expected. During a video call with a colleague, she needed to explain a delay in a project. She didn't rehearse it. She didn't think about grammar rules first. The sentence just came out correct enough, fast enough, natural enough. It was a small moment. No one clapped. No test confirmed it. But Mira noticed it, because for the first time in years, English had stopped feeling like a wall she was pushing against. Mira didn't change her method by finding one perfect trick. She changed it by replacing one bad habit, studying English like a subject to memorize, with 4 small, repeatable ones: understandable input, daily speaking practice, honest writing, and spaced review. None of these habits took more than 30 minutes a day, combined. None of them required a classroom, a teacher, or a plane ticket. What they required was consistency, showing up in small ways every day, instead of studying hard once and hoping it would be enough. If you've been studying English for a long time and still feel stuck, the problem is probably not your intelligence, and it's probably not your textbook. It's more likely that your habits are missing one of these 4 pieces. You don't need to change everything at once. Pick one habit from Mira's routine and try it for the next 7 days. Small, repeated action is what actually moves a language forward, not the search for one perfect method. If this story helped you see your own progress differently, subscribe to Fluent Harbor for more English lessons told through real stories, and share this with someone who's been stuck exactly where Mira was.